Hello and welcome to haQ. My name is Jakob, I'm your host and you're watching a hack vlog. I want to show you how I turned this into this. I know, it's not that complicated. I wanted to make a video about it because for me it's important. You see, ever since I made the Audiobus 3 launch videos with the really nice background, I felt like a wooden background, underlay, a wooden background would be really nice when filming my videos, whether I'm doing performance things or if I'm doing tutorials. Now, I didn't want to use the same thing I used for the Audiobus 3 launch videos. Nope, I want to use something else. So one day, my girlfriend came home with this crate and I took a look at it and I'm like, oh, that would be perfect. Actually, my girlfriend said like, hey, I'm bringing this crate home. Maybe you can use it as an underlay. And I agree with her. Only it had the wrong color. So I only have two options. I either stain it. Well, I only had one option. I had to stain it. So I went to buy some stain. And I usually buy the mahogany red. I like tree types that are reddish. So mahogany is one of my absolute favorites. But this time I wanted something a bit more brown. So I chose the walnut brown. No, I think it's just called walnut. In Swedish, it's walnut. And if you break down the word, then val is whale and nut is nut. It's a whale nut. That makes no sense. So walnut brown it is. I also got a jar of clear coat, just some matte, do you say matte? Not like glossy, not the glossy type, not the half glossy type. It's mate, is it mate or matte? So as soon as I came home, I started looking for sandpaper because, you know, this crate had been outside, so the tree had risen a bit. Do you say that in English? That's what we say in Swedish. Träd reser sig. The fibers are... And it was also a little bit rough around the edges, so I had to remove some splinters, and I actually made a time-lapse of this. Only the thing is, I had the wrong settings. So in the end, my time-lapse footage that was supposed to be a minute long turned out to be 4 seconds. So the only thing I can do is slow it down, and it's basically like showing a picture slideshow. Well, I learned my lesson, so... Right, so after the boring bits, I mean sanding it down, that's really boring. And I just want to get straight to staining my wood. Just oiling wood is enough for me, just to see it go darker. Okay, so mixing the stain is so easy. So I had a pot, I had some hot water, it needs to be like 100 degrees. So you just cut the bag open and then you behave like an idiot. Not you, but me, finger in the powder, the first thing I do. And then of course I forgot to bring a measurement cup because, you know, that's how I am. I always run ahead of myself. I never really plan things like this. I just need it to be done. So I went to get that, and when I had that, I just realized that it wasn't a good idea to use my pot. When this thing cools, you can actually save it for later for quite some time, but you have to keep it in a glass jar. You don't keep it in like metal or anything. So usually I do mix it inside a glass jar, so I had to go and get that too. Then I just had to pour in the right amount of water, mix in the powder, and then you just need to wait until it cools down. So I waited for about an hour, and then the liquid was cold, and then began the process. And this is the part that I like. Dipping that brush in there, watching the magic happen. Now, if you do this for the first time, it's gonna look kind of bad, uneven. You get all these spots, dots, and it looks strange, and it gets really dark in the beginning, and that's because the wood is getting wet. And then as the wood dries, the color will get brighter. Now this stain isn't color true? I don't know what to say, but the thing is, you have to clear coat it. If you don't, then when you touch it and put things on it, the color will rub off. So you need to coat it with some clear coat. Now when you're done with this, it needs to dry off for at least 6 hours in room temperature. And so I brought it inside. Now after 6 hours, I went up and I touched it. At first, the color doesn't rub off, but if you hold it long enough, if you've got like sweaty fingers or fatty fingers, then you'll see the color come off and rub off on your fingers. Now it's time for the clear coating. Look at this. As soon as that coat goes on, now it's gonna be a bit glossy when you put it on, and then it's gonna matte out as soon as it's dry. And this is a clear coat for indoor use. It's even an ecological brand. I'm really happy when I can find ecological brand. Now I don't know how ecological it is. I haven't really checked, I'll admit that, but I usually try to choose Next. Now, as you can see, watch this. The stain sticks to the brush and the clear coat. And so when you dip it inside the clear coat, it's gonna color off. Now, I didn't care about this because I knew I wasn't gonna use this clear coat for anything else. I have loads of stain left. I didn't use that much, and you can even use several layers, like 2 layers of this, and the wood is gonna get a bit darker every time. But I knew I was gonna use this clear coat for doing more similar projects with the same stain. So I didn't bother even pouring a bit of the clear coat into another jar and then dipping into that. So, but if you do and you want to use the clear coat for something else, then consider that. Now, looking at that thing, it looks so awesome, okay? So right now, when I'm recording this, I am sitting here waiting for the clear coat to dry. And there is my project. Keep watching because I've put some outtakes at the utmost end, as I always do with all my vlogs. Well, I have done since vlog 100. Never mind. So thank you so much for watching. All comments and ratings are very much appreciated. I've also got a Patreon page, so if you want to support creativity and if you find value in the content I produce, then why not sign up on Patreon? Now, if that isn't your cup of tea, I've got a PayPal me link, donate me link, PayPal. I've got a PayPal me link in the description, so you can do a one-off donation if you want to do that and you don't like the Patreon thing. Now, if you don't want to do neither of that, then you can always share my videos, press the thumbs up, and if you subscribe, then don't forget to bell thing. You know, the reason why I'm so tense is because I want to go out and touch that clear coat and it being dry. As usual, I wish you a very productive week. Now go finger all of your stuff and have a lot of fun doing it. Now the next step was... What was the next step? Now all I needed to do was to put on some clear coat. It's not clear coat, clear coat. Now I only need... Why am I jumping like that? Now I only needed... Why do I do that? I'm moving away from the microphone. Don't do that, Jacob. Just... Oh my god. Now all I needed to do was to put on the clear coat. Clear coat. Clear coat. So all I needed to do now was to do... So all I needed to do... So all I needed to... All I needed to do... So all I needed to do was to put on the clear coat. Not clear... I need to move past this. So all I needed to do now... So all I needed to do now was to put... So all I needed to do, so all I needed to do now, so all I needed to do now was to put on the clear coat, not clear coat. So all I needed to do now was to, so all I needed to do now was to, can you be less clear about this, Jacob? Is it possible? So all I needed to do now was to put on the clear, I just need to get past this. So all I needed to do now was to put, one more time, Jacob. This is the one. So all I needed to do now was to put on the clear, and now it's time for the clear coat.